Hey everyone, this is Natasha Fernandez, and welcome to the video number 2 of Healing Addictions and Empowering Yourself. So, today, in short, I will be talking about the biology of addiction. So, when I say biology of addiction, I'm going to be talking about how your body and your brain responds to any addictive behavior, activity, or substance. And it is very important to clear these myths rather than always thinking or feeling or having a judgment that a person who is an addict or a person who is going through addiction is because of certain kind of weakness, like they are weak or because they lack willpower. It's neither of that. It is just the situation, the coping skills, and mainly about the biology of what I'm going to be talking to you today. So when we come to talk about the brain, we know that brain is the only organ that is capable of changing and molding as per our actions, thoughts, and behaviors. And that is a miracle, and that is what you have to utilize for you rather than putting it into utility against you. Okay, so the ones who are into addiction are definitely making use of their brain and its capacity against them. So we always know that, when we talk about building a new habit, there are neurons that are firing in your brain, and then you build a new neural pathway. So whether it's a good habit or a bad habit, we do not get to decide that. The consequences is that you have built a neural pathway. So when we talk about addiction, it is always said that the person who is addicted or has this addictive behavior they know the negative consequences of it. It is never that, oh, I didn't know by smoking I'm going to cause some trouble with me. No, you definitely know that. But still, there is some factor, and that is that which I'm going to talk today. That some factor which is making you do it repeatedly, unfortunately, making you do it again and again. So, whenever we get into a habit, okay, or when we do something for the first time, and that results in a lot of pleasure physically, emotionally, or when you reach some sensations in your body, or when you have that heightened state of euphoria, the reward center of your brain is activated. Our brain has a reward and a punishment center. So then the reward center is activated. So when your reward center of the brain is activated, it fires the neurotransmitter called as dopamine. And when dopamine is fired, okay, that action is recorded that this gives me pleasure. This is pleasurable. I like it. I feel good. And when this happens, your brain records it into a long term memory and your body records it into a cellular memory, which means that next time, for example, if you're not feeling good, or if you feel that I want to feel that way, I want to feel that good, that euphoric, you automatically will reach to that same behavior, even if it is destructive for your body. So that is how the cycle of addiction starts. So then the more you do it, the more you get encouraged, and that cycle never breaks. It's on and on and on and on. And what happens is mostly there is another misconception which says that dopamine is connected to addiction or dopamine encourages the addictive behavior. That's not the case again. So when you are into an addictive behavior, dopamine is just acting as a motivator. It encourages you to do that activity which you like, which gave you pleasure, which gave you happiness and euphoria again, in order to experience those sensations and heightened emotions. That's the only part of dopamine. And yes, dopamine contributes to increasing tolerance. So, for example, if someone is smoking 4 cigarettes in a day, after that, it becomes a habit of smoking 4 cigarettes in a day. Or if they are going to eat chocolate, they're going to eat like 2 to 3 chocolates in a day. Beyond a point, it becomes so tolerable, so immune to the body that you're not feeling good anymore. You're not feeling that euphoria. You're not feeling that heightened sensation because when you do that, dopamine is fired. You do the action, dopamine is fired. So that becomes like a flat tone. So what you do, you feel, hey, I'm not reaching there. Let me increase it. Okay, so your mind tricks you. You increase, for example, you increase into 5 cigarettes a day or 6 cigarettes a day. Again, you're feeling that euphoria. Increase the quantity of chocolate or the frequency of it, you are feeling that euphoria and you feel that, yes, this is what I wanted. And that is the only thing that dopamine does. It flattens your tolerance, you increase your addictive behavior, again, you reach an immunity, again, you increase your addictive behavior. So that is another cycle of, your entire addiction that goes into your mind and your brain. And then your body is so used to this action, your neurons have formed a new neural pathway of using the substance or doing the activity repeatedly. Now, I'll give you a very small case study, which was done by a researcher in Harvard. Okay, so he had three groups to participate in this. So, group number A was told that they will have to learn the single handed piano. So, they were practicing for 2 hours for 5 days a week. And when they were practicing the single handed piano, all their brain were mapped and they were noted that there were changes in the brain because they were someone who were so enthusiastic to learn the instrument. They were feeling happy, their brain was motivated, and there were a lot of good changes in the brain. Group number B, they were also given the same practice for a week, and from the second week, they were withdrawn from practice. There was no practice anymore. So all the changes that had happened in the brain in the week one completely reversed. There were no brain changes anymore. And group number C, okay, they were just given the placebo. There were no real instrument, but they were told to imagine that with their fingers they are playing the piano and practicing it, and their changes were the same as compared to group number A. So that is the capacity of your brain. Okay, your brain changes with habit. So what you feed in your body, what you feed in your mind, what you are thinking, what is your behavior is all recorded in your brain, and your brain changes and responds to that. It does not judge. It does not judge that I have a good behavior. It does not judge that this is a bad behavior. It only judges between pleasure and pain. So anything that is pleasurable is going to be encouraged. So why not make a thoughtful life and a happy life more pleasurable rather than getting into any kind of addictions? And here, when I'm giving you this information, as I said, it has nothing to do with lack of willpower. So if you have a friend, if you have a family member who is into any kind of addiction, please do not judge them. Rather, be that community support, help them withdraw from the addiction and help them cope up with it and help them win it. So I will be back with more information in my further videos of what steps can you take, okay, to improve your mental health and physical health and get out of your addictive state and live a happy life. Till then, take care.
Help Talks are daily health related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.